I told him, I said, if you want, get used to this. This is the new norm in Philadelphia.
Yes, this is the new norm. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The city of winners. The dark cloud is long gone. And this is the Glockcast, episode 24, sponsored by Gladiator Custom Mouth Guards. I am still basking in the glory of being a world champion. It feels so damn good. But the Eagles aren't the only team that has me excited. We have a lot to get into today. The theme of this show is going to be the new norm. And the new norm is winning. The new norm is parades. How do we get back there? The Eagles have started this tidal wave of potential championships. The Sixers are hot. They got superstars everywhere. The Flyers are hot. They got another big win last night over Montreal. They're feeling good. They're playing real well. Trade deadline next Monday. The Phillies could be on the verge of having a pretty damn good season for the first time since 2011. They're actually exciting. And now I'm excited because I want more parades. I had a good time at the parade. That was my first parade. I missed '08. And, are all these other cities, are they jealous of us at this point? We're the city of winners. We're no longer this dark cloud, poor Philadelphia. We are champions. Boston, New York, eat your heart out. Philadelphia is the city to be in, but I want more. I need more. I'm fiending for more. And like I said, the dark cloud is over me. I feel great. I like walking down the street. I'm a champion, baby, and so are you, but now I want more. All of these teams have finally turned the corner. The Eagles are the champions, and the Sixers, the Flyers, and the Phillies are right behind them. I said last week, November 1st, we put the number out there, 2.5 over-under parades by the end of 2020. We already got one under our belt. I want to find out how we can get back. So I have a special guest with me for the first time in studio. He is our Sixers guru, but he also contributes to the Eagles and whatever else we ask. He is the man. He is the myth. He is Joe Pop. What's up, Joe?
What's going on, everybody? It's good to be finally in studio with
Yes, we finally have a little break here. We can talk a little Sixers, and that's kind of where I want to begin. I want more parades, dude. I had a good time. How about you?
So I actually had to miss it because I had work, which was
my goodness.
I know, it was a killer because I missed '08 too because of midterms, which I think was kind of your case.
I missed '08 because of I was stuck in Morgantown, West Virginia, and the delay just killed me.
Yeah, so I missed it, but I'm going to be there for the next one. I'm going to be there next year for the Eagles. I'm going to be there in 2 years for the Sixers. And I'm going to be there in 3 years for the Eagles' third one.
So you're pushing the over.
Oh, I'm crushing the over.
That's what I want to hear. And now I want to start with your Philadelphia 76ers. Yes. They're hot, Joe. They're very hot.
Smoking hot. So they're winners of 6 straight. They're winners of 7 of their last 8. They're absolutely on fire. And I think the best thing that I can say going into the second half of the season, if we want to call it the unofficial second half of the season, is that they're looking at 27 games left, 13 at home, 14 on the road. They have statistically the easiest schedule in the entire NBA, which actually says more about what they did in the first half of the season. They had one of the hardest schedules first half of the season, a ton of back-to-backs. Embiid's now playing back-to-backs now. So going into
this huge.
Oh, it's absolutely
finally
huge. Yes.
And if he could play in the Skills Challenge, the Rising Stars Challenge, and the All-Star Game 3 nights in a row, he better start playing some back-to-backs.
And they don't even have a ton of back-to-backs. I mean, when I real quick glancing at the schedule, I only see 3 for the rest of the season back-to-backs. That's nothing.
No, that's nothing. And and in reality, I guess he wouldn't even really have to play those.
Correct.
Because that would be a rest period anyway. So, I mean, I agree with you. I think everything's looking up here, and they did play a tough schedule, especially to start the season. I think everything is looking up for the Sixers. I think they could go pretty high. I want to hear what you say first, but I think I'm pretty bullish on the Sixers this year. Obviously, I don't think they're going to win the championship, but I'm pretty bullish on it.
Oh, well, that's actually – it's actually funny that you bring up the championship. I was looking at Basketball Reference. I took a look over at 538 as well because I love those two sites. I mean, if you're a basketball fan, I mean, that's your Bible. Both of them have the Sixers' chance of even being in the finals, which is crazy to even talk about, over like 1.5%. Both of them higher than the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're the third highest projection in the East on both of the sites.
Well, how high do you think they can go? Because I got a number in my head.
I have them. So with 27 left, there's absolutely no reason they don't win minimum 15. Go 15 and 12. I don't see why they can't do that. But I have them. I think they're going to finish the season 47 wins, 4th seed. They're going to host Washington, and they're going to beat Washington.
Wow, I really like what you're saying because I was thinking 5 seed for me, but I'll take 4 any day of the week. And Washington would be a good matchup for the Sixers. Obviously, you would miss Cleveland. You would miss Boston. I wouldn't have a problem playing Toronto personally, but Toronto's experience, they've been there before. The Sixers can make a run. They could win a playoff series. And what better way to lure LeBron over by potentially beating LeBron in the next round?
See, I disagree a little bit because I think LeBron's a little conscious of how he looks in the media. He won't admit it, but he knows how he looks in social media. I actually think the worst thing the Sixers could do is beat LeBron in the playoffs.
And make him look stupid.
Make him look like he's
and then
chasing.
He'll never.
Yes. I think your best case scenario, you go in, you win one playoff series, and you lose to somebody, not LeBron. I say we hopefully avoid
I don't think you want to lose to LeBron.
You don't want to lose
You don't
want to
look like crap in front of him.
Exactly. You don't want to lose to him either. I would just want to avoid him at all costs. I think if you beat him, I think that plays a little bit in his head when he's thinking
you got a
about
good point
spots.
there. You got a good point there. But you want, well, you know what? Maybe you push Boston like 7 games and losing game 7 to Boston. That would be a hell of a success for the Sixers, who we haven't been in the playoffs since the Iguodala beat Derrick Rose in the first round. And you thought everything was going to turn around when they got Andrew Bynum. Obviously, that was a disaster and started the whole entire process. And here we are with the process coming to an end. And we know the Sixers are going to make the playoffs at this point. I think they're an absolute lock. Joe thinks they're a lock. But where do we go from there? We get to the playoffs, okay. Now, next year, in my opinion, you can't come back with the same team. You have to upgrade, and then you have to start going for it. The draft, all that stuff's over with. All the, tanking, obviously, that's over with. There's no more lottery parties. There's no more this and that. It's about winning basketball games, and they're doing it. But I want it a little more. I want to taste, the point is, this is the new norm. Parade. I want a Sixers parade. But I haven't seen that yet. I need it. How do we get there? I got a guy in mind. We just talked about him. LeBron. How does he get here?
He's the Willy Wonka golden ticket. I mean, he's your entrance into the finals. You get him, you're immediately top of the East.
In.
Yeah, you're absolutely
100%.
in. I think you lure him because I think he's just the best fit, or I think this team is the best fit.
Well, I'm going to throw a couple fits at you. I think Houston is the team you have to be worried about the most. Chris Paul's a free agent. They could move some money around to get LeBron, Paul, and Harden. That's scary. They could rival the Warriors out west. The Warriors are going to start falling apart eventually. You would think Klay Thompson will be somewhere else eventually. But the Sixers would be my second choice for LeBron. If I was unbiasedly looking at this, not a Philadelphia homer that I am, looking at this, I'd be like, you know what, dude? He really does fit pretty well with the Sixers. I'd throw out L.A., the Clippers, they'll have the money to potentially sign a few free agents. But if you look at this free agent class, it's not like you can go sign LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. There's not that. Durant's a free agent. He's staying in Golden State. LeBron, Paul George, he's probably going to go to the Lakers or even stay in Oklahoma City. Why would you leave Russ? That'd be nuts, in my opinion.
It's going to depend on what they do in the playoffs, but he's got a player option too. I mean, I wouldn't want anything to do with Paul George. I hope he does go to the Lakers.
Us.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see LeBron.
Yeah,
I don't see LeBron going west. I just don't. I think that the West is exactly what it is. It's the wild, wild West. It's always a dogfight. If I'm LeBron, I don't want to have to. I mean, unless I'm on Houston, I don't have to go through Houston. I don't have to go through Oklahoma. Lakers are definitely going to be better. Golden State, San Antonio is always tough. I'm staying east if I'm
Absolutely.
LeBron. And one of my biggest fears going into this season, and even in the beginning of the season, was actually New York. He loves the big market. Porzingis is out. They're saying Porzingis might not even be back until 2019. They're saying,
dude, the New York scene is a disaster. And speaking of New York, that's why they're probably so damn angry at Jason Kelsey, that Joey Bubats and Mike Francesca and all them of the world, because their sports scene absolutely stinks right now. And we're living the dream, talking about potentially playoff basketball, playoff hockey, maybe even LeBron coming here. And to your point, LeBron does set up best in the East. He sets up best on the Sixers. There's no other option unless he stays in Cleveland, which I just can't see, dude. Honestly, I can't see it. Why would he do that? They're not going to be able to win a championship. His goal at this point at age 33 is to win a championship, and that's it.
He's not going to Boston.
No.
He wouldn't do that. Maybe the Heat. I don't see that.
No.
Either.
Dude, he's got Simmons. He's got Embiid here. They could even go out and get another guy. They'll figure it out.
And I think if you get LeBron, that opens up so many more opportunities. You would still need somebody to really be your two, somebody to really be your shooting guard. But I think if you get LeBron,
it
you
don't
can go
matter at that point. You just sign me and you to be the shooting guard and a power forward. It don't matter.
You go to JJ and just say, hey, listen, we gave you $23 million last year. How about we give you 2 years and a roll of pennies, but you're going to play LeBron?
Yeah, and I love the people that are like, oh, no, I don't want LeBron. I don't like him. I'm like, dude, when LeBron gets here, you're going to freaking like LeBron. I got news for you. When you're partying on the art museum in June in shorts and a T-shirt instead of, 10 layers of clothes like you were in February, you're going to really like it.
You know what you're going to be saying? You're going to be saying, it's about damn time.
You're damn right you will. So I know that's what we're looking forward to. So we think the 4 seed, 5 seed potentially. LeBron, there's some excitement here for the Sixers. When do you think the Sixers are going to get it done?
I say 2020 is an easy goal. I think easy goal. I don't see how they're going to make a deep run this year. They're going to win 45 to 47 this year. They're going to sign some guys. Next year, they're probably going to be in the mid-50s, which means in 2020, they're going to be competing around 60 wins, hopefully, in the East and going right to the finals. I don't see why not. This team is tough. This team's playing tough. Brett Brown has proven in the beginning of the year, it looked like he was a little bit over his head.
Yeah, I was one of those guys. I got to be honest with you. I was kind of questioning him.
Absolutely, but he's proven that now this team has made this switch from being the team that goes up by 25 and blows it to the team that will fight if they're down 25 to win it.
See, I want to say that they're going to win it before 2020, but it is pretty damn hard to win an NBA championship. Now, should they not land a big free agent next year, I kind of think we'll be somewhere in the same neighborhood as where we are now. Boston will bring back Hayward. They'll still be pretty good. It depends where LeBron goes. If he stays in Cleveland, obviously they'll be pretty good. If he bolts to the West, the Sixers probably are the 1 or 2 best team in the East. But are they going to be able to beat, say, a Houston? Are they going to be able to beat a Golden State? I can't say that they will. I think back to Oklahoma City with Durant, Westbrook, Harden, Serge Ibaka, and they never got it done. So I am a little concerned there. I do think a free agent, the Sixers will have to land one at some point to win the championship before 2020. Gun to my head, I say they get it done, though. I think it'll be the changing of the guard. Simmons and Embiid are too damn good. I do think they could get it done. I think they might get it done right on that button line, though, of that 2019-2020 season.
You need 3 superstars. They have to. They have 2 established young superstars. They need the third.
And they need a veteran that knows how to win in the playoffs. Hey, LeBron, he knows something about it.
He's won a couple playoff games.
He's been to a few finals in his career. So, I mean, like I said, dark cloud, out of here. This is going to be a fun final stretch run here for the Sixers. Real fun. Everybody's going to be glued in. This city's been waiting for this team to get in the playoffs. It's going to be a hell of a time at Wells Fargo Center. I can't wait to say it.
Philadelphia's about to turn from the dark cloud to Utopadelphia.
Yes, absolutely. And then the Flyers are playing pretty well too. Could they be a team that makes a run? We'll see. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to win in the NHL. Just like the NBA. Can win it as an 8 seed in the NHL, though. That's the only thing. You get a hot goaltender. We'll see. The Flyers are going to be up against it for that threshold too. Maybe the 2019-2020 season. Hextall makes a couple moves here or there. He's obviously shown he has the ability to do some Howie Roseman type moves in the NHL. Hextall, you have to have faith in him right now. I do. We'll see where we go from there. I would love a Flyers parade. I think that'll be just as wild as an Eagles parade again in June. That's where I want to get to. Now, the Philadelphia Phillies. Will they just please make this Arrieta deal official? My goodness. They need a pitcher. Just please make the deal official.
I think it's going to happen before Friday or before Saturday. I think it might happen by the time we're out of this room in the next 30
it could.
minutes.
It really could. And now, listen to this lineup, dude. Jorge Alfaro, Carlos Santana, Cesar Hernandez, J.P. Crawford, Michael Franco, Nick Williams, Odubel Herrera, Rhys Hoskins. Any which way you want to put them together, that's a playoff caliber lineup, in my opinion. They're going to score some runs, this team. I can't wait to see it. Now, here's the problem. Aaron Nola, one of the top pitchers in the National League. Jared Eichhoff had a bad year. I think he can turn the corner this year. He has to have a better year than he had last year. Vince Velasquez, question mark. A lot of talent, always injured. Ben Lively, come on. Nick Pivetta, come on. And then you got Eflin, Jake Thompson. We've been there, done that with these guys. Throw me Arrieta in there, then we're talking. Nola, Arrieta, Eichhoff, Velasquez, and then you can find one guy. Maybe Lively turns the corner. Maybe Pivetta turns the corner. Eflin has showed some signs. The Phillies, honestly, I'm going to put all my chips in. I'm saying they get the second wild card. I'm going to tell you right now, I think they're going to get the second wild card.
Is that dependent on Arrieta?
Yes, dependent on Arrieta. Okay. I think they're going to make a move for a starting pitcher here in the next couple of days.
No,
I think it's going to be Arrieta.
If they get Arrieta, what they're going to get also is they're going to get a veteran presence that knows how to win at the end of the season. So even last year, August and September combined, where his ERA for the year finished well above 3. Last year in August, September, when it really counts, 2.27 ERA. That's a guy that knows how to win.
And he did wear down a little bit last year. I'm not going to sit here saying I would give him like 10 years, $200 million or anything. But look at that rotation. It needs an Arrieta. It needs a lift. It needs somebody in there that knows how to pitch in big games, can show these guys the ropes. It needs somebody. I can't go in this season with Ben Lively, Nick Pivetta, and the who's who of AAA pitchers of the world. I just can't do it.
No, they're not.
I'm tired of it.
They're not ready to compete with the Nationals, but I think they get into a dogfight for the wild card as well.
I think, dude, I think they're going to be in the playoffs. I tweeted this out the other day. I think all 4 teams will be in the playoffs this year. I really do. I mean, I know it's crazy to say. Obviously, the Eagles have already won it. The Sixers are going to be there. The Flyers are knocking on the door. They should be there. I think the Phillies have a shot. Now, like I said, like you said, Arrieta dependent for sure, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I can't go into the season with these guys. I mean, just get the deal done, Clantac. What's the point, dude? You're pussyfooting around. Just make the damn deal and you get some excitement for your team. My goodness.
Hashtag do the deal.
And we did a poll, and I just threw some random numbers out there. Would you take Arrieta at 3 years, $75 million? 79% yes, 21% no. So people. And that got 82 votes. Hey, I'm not, ESPN worldwide leader in sports here. I'm not getting like 4,000 million votes, but that's a good number, and people want Arrieta. That means people are still interested in the Phillies too, and want to be interested and want to be at the ballpark. And the ballpark's a cool place to be. Jake Arrieta's on the mound. Let's go down. Let's go see Arrieta pitch. Let's see Nola pitch. Let's see Rhys Hoskins knock one out of the stadium.
And I think their bullpen's pretty solid too. So if they can get a lead, I think they're going to hang on to a lot of games. They're not going to blow a ton of leads.
They blew 24 saves last year, and they added Tommy Hunter. They brought back Pat Neshek. You know what? That's not bad. Hector Neris has nailed down the 9th inning role. Their bullpen's going to be much improved. I agree with you there. What do you think of Kapler?
I love him. I'm all on the Gabe train. I think he brings a ton of energy, and I think he reminds me a lot of kind of what Doug Peterson did this year, where his guys seem like they want to play for him already, and they're not. They have shirts that just say "Be bold," but it's little stuff like that kind of gets the guys going. It gets fires in their bellies, and it gets them to kind of believe anything you're going to say and make them do.
Now I'm gonna play devil's advocate with you because I do like Kapler as well, but when does that message start getting stale? Now that you can be happy all you want, walk in the room happiest guy, but you lose 10 in a row, you lose 7 out of 10, whatever the case may be. Where does that line draw? When do guys start tuning it out?
I think you have a little bit of a curve here with him. I think you're going to be looking at the dog days of August, especially if they're out of it. Like you said, if they lose 10 straight, that's,
Yeah, I'm just throwing the worst case scenario.
Yeah, but I mean, once again, winning cures all.
Yes.
So if they're in a race, I think his energy is what can push them over.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Positive vibes only, okay?
Absolutely.
It worked with the Eagles. You're happy to come to work. You're going to perform better at work. It worked with the Eagles. We have a sample size, a big sample size. I don't know if the message will get stale or not. I think the Phillies are a young enough team where I think Kapler, he's played the game. I think these guys resonate with him. I really do. I like the hire. I'd like, if anything else, Kapler's going to be interesting, and we could talk about him, and we'll at least get a laugh out of it. The Phillies haven't been relevant or interesting since 2011. Let's just face facts. And I'm happy about it. I really am. A couple other things I want to see at spring training. I need Scott Kingery to have a big spring to force their hand, and potentially they can move Cesar Hernandez.
Absolutely. They need to figure out what's going on with that infield situation almost immediately, because that is the biggest concern, I think, for this team as far as the offensive side as well.
Yeah. So let's put a number on the Phillies. Do you think they could get it done by 2020? Because that is the question of the day. The dark cloud is over. The new norm in Philadelphia. 08 was sweet. Are we going to have another one before the 2020 threshold?
Not for the Phillies. I think that they're going to be back in the playoffs possibly by the end of this year. I think definitely next year. I think that they're going to be competing. I just don't think that they have enough yet. I mean, obviously, baseball's all
So
about
they have
free
this
agency.
year, and they have 2019, and then they get the full 2020.
I'm still going to go with a no for the Phillies.
I'm saying lock it in, parade down Broad Street for Gabe Kapler and the Philadelphia Phillies. They're handing free coconut oil out at the freaking door. It's going to be amazing. You'll see it. It's going to be awesome. I think all these teams are going to get it done. The only one I have a little question about is the Flyers. But I don't know. I'm feeling the Phillies. Dude, Harper here or Machado in the offseason, because we talked about the NBA free agents not being so good after LeBron. You know, who you're going to get? Tyreek Evans of the world, Paul George, we both don't like. Baseball, there's a ton of free agents next year.
Who would you take if you had to take one of the two?
Harper or Machado?
Yeah.
Well, I'd be an idiot not to say Harper.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put a little thought behind it here. I would say Machado because he'll probably come a little cheaper than Harper, and I like the Phillies outfield. Machado really fills the need, and that infield, I mean, now that Carlos Santana's playing first base, but even with Santana at first, the infield of Santana, Kingery, Crawford, and Machado is ridiculous. And then eventually Hoskins takes over for Santana. That's my infield of forever. But I'd be an idiot not to say Harper, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we get one of them, forget it. They're definitely going to match that threshold.
I just
So they got to get pitching, though. So contact. Come on, let's go, dude.
I just keep thinking if Harper goes to New York, because I know everybody talks about how bad he wants to be a Yankee. Could you imagine that lineup if you threw Harper in there as well? That would be
Oh my God.
That would be one of my
That's
biggest
the last
nightmares.
thing I need to say.
Yeah.
I just got done talking about how New Yorkers are jealous of Philadelphia, and it is a jealousy thing. Joey Bubats Karuki, who had a big problem with Jason Kelsey. If it was a freaking Met that was up there cursing, you would have had the speech tattooed on your fat back. So, New York, they're just jealous of Philadelphia. Their cities are split in two. You got Giants, you got Jets, you got Mets, you got Yankees. They don't have the camaraderie that we have here. And yes, I am still pissed about them calling out Jason Kelsey. Screw you. I don't care what you guys have to say.
They're in football hell right now.
Yeah, second pick in the draft, sixth pick in the draft. You guys have been done talking about football since freaking September. That's why you're pissed at us. Don't be mad at me that your teams suck. It's not my problem. Now we have to get into, obviously, the world champion, Philadelphia Eagles. Joe, you know what the big story is. It's Nick Foles. I wrote about it the other day. Some positive reaction, some negative reaction. Now, I just want to state my case here because sometimes when I write something, it comes off as, oh my gosh, you know, I'm just being negative or I'm being overly too positive. But I want to just clarify my stance on the Foles situation. My stance is this. If Foles stays, awesome. That's great. I love Nick Foles. He won me a Super Bowl. Nobody else has ever won me a Super Bowl. McNabb, not anybody. Okay? I love Foles. I love Wentz too. I love Foles though. He could stay. I'm totally cool with that. And if Wentz isn't ready, you got Foles ready to go. That's awesome. But if a team is going to give me a second-round pick and maybe a fourth-round pick or even a late first-round pick for Nick Foles, you're crazy if you don't say yes to that. I'm sorry. Carson Wentz is the best player in the league. He's coming back. Even if he's back, week 3, week 4, it'll be all right. I want to build a dynasty here. The whole theme of today's show is parades. I got to get back down Broad Street. I got to get a better spot at the Art Museum next year, okay? You understand? I need more partying. I need more camaraderie. I need more Broad Street. How am I going to get there? I'm going to start the dynasty. I'm going to trade Foles. I'm going to get back a second and a fourth-round pick. I'm going to draft a linebacker. I'm going to draft a offensive lineman or a speed wide receiver. That's what teams do. New England, if you better bet your ass if New England won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback that they would be trading him for a haul.
He'd be
absolutely gone without remorse.
And see, I'm a little bit on the other side. I would be actively shopping him. I would be unhappy if Nick Foles is here to start the season. I love the idea of having him as a backup. I want to make sure Wentz is healthy. I want to make sure that knee is good. But I'd be actively shopping him. And I think that you're crazy if you don't get rid of him.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you there. Like I said, I wouldn't be actively shopping. I wouldn't go as far. I wouldn't it's not mandatory requirement that Nick Foles isn't here for me personally. But I don't think you're doing your due diligence to set the franchise up if you're not looking at everything. Every guy should be tradable, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I just think of you're already back on some draft picks. He's a $7 million cap hit. You're already $10 million over.
Yep, you're right in my wheelhouse here.
He answers a lot of your problems with one move.
You're right. You're so right. They're a little 9.5-ish over the cap. Foles is like a 7-6 hit. They have the 32nd pick. They have 2 fourths, 2 fifths, and a 7. Now, I got some teams for you I want to run by you. I want to put the obvious out there, the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I don't see Arizona giving up the 15th pick for Foles. I'm sorry to tell you. They could give up their second-round pick, but Arizona only has 5 picks themselves. They don't have that many picks. I think Arizona is probably going to draft their guy, or they sign Kirk Cousins, or they sign Keenum, or one of these guys as a stopgap for now, and maybe draft a guy in the later rounds. I don't see Foles for the 15th pick. Absolutely not.
Not a chance.
I mean, if they want to give their second-round pick up for Foles, okay, but it's hard for me to believe Arizona. Denver, they're a good organization. They have a very good defense. They believe in Devontae Booker for some reason. Not sure why. But they could draft a stud at 5 and then trade their second-round pick for Foles. That makes a lot of sense for Denver. And that's a class organization, so you're sending Foles in a good spot.
I like that idea. I think that's where Cousins lands. Von Miller's already, he's chasing him down like a prom date, trying to get him to go to Denver.
Yeah, but Elway hasn't he doesn't like spending a lot of money up there.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
I mean, he could have had a quarterback here or there, and he refused. He didn't re-sign Osweiler, which was a great move, obviously, but that's why I think Foles fits their bill. They won't have to do a lot cap-wise. They get Foles for a second-round pick. He's only 7 on the cap this year. They could worry about it next year, see how he plays. It's basically a rental for a year. Maybe Foles has turned a corner. Maybe he's the next Kurt Warner. I don't know. But I think Denver could be a legitimate landing spot. And I have a little wild card here for you. Okay. The desperate Miami Dolphins. They're up against it. They're about as impatient an organization as you can find. They love getting these big-name guys. They traded Ajayi for no reason whatsoever. Gase he's on the hot seat, and so is their entire front office. Foles makes sense for them, again, for a second-round pick. They're not going to give 11 up. And the Eagles have a relationship with Miami. They use them to help get Wentz. They got Ajayi. They have the relationship there. If Miami comes calling, they could reacquire their 4th-round pick as well, maybe with the second-round pick. That makes a lot of sense to me, personally.
I would give up Foles for that 42nd. If you give me that 42nd, then Foles is absolutely gone. I'll give you the 4th back. I don't even need the 4th. I think the other thing the Eagles need to look into doing, too, to help their situation out, not only trying to move Foles, but I say that 32nd pick, I say get rid of it, move back, try to get back in the second round and acquire an extra pick as well.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense as well because they're not going to be able to pay a first-round pick this year.
Absolutely.
Save a little money, too. And then you got Buffalo. They have 21 and 22, and then they have 2 second-round picks as well. But if I'm thinking Buffalo has all that ammo to get a quarterback, why wouldn't they just trade up in the draft and go get one of these top guys, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, one of the guys they like anyway, or Mayfield if they like him. I don't think Buffalo acquired all these picks and did all this work to trade them for Nick Foles, personally. A 29-year-old quarterback. Not that Nick Foles isn't good, but they've literally done a ton of work. People thought Buffalo were tanking, for God's sakes. They acquired all these picks. I don't think they're just going to start wasting it on a 29-year-old quarterback. And they're not close enough to where Denver, I know Denver had a bad year, but I feel like they're closer than Buffalo. They have a Super Bowl MVP. They have Demaryius Thomas. They have Emmanuel Sanders.
I was going to say, with a solid defense like that, you could throw in a Nick Foles, you could throw in a Cousins, any one of those guys. You're almost going to guarantee yourself back in the playoffs. Or at least in the race, especially in the AFC West.
And I think, back to your original point, you do almost have to get rid of them. If a team is calling, like I said, I'm not going to be up in arms if Foles is on this roster. I'm going to be happy. I love Nick Foles. But at the end of the day, I want the dynasty more. Keeping Foles is great. Building a dynasty is better to me. I want to win another Super Bowl. I do. And now I want to talk about some other guys that potentially could move on here. One free agent, if you could bring them back, you had unlimited cap, who would you bring back?
Bradham. I think linebacker, you're already pretty short. I think he showed you that he can kind of be all over the field for you. I thought, when you needed a clutch tackle, you got a clutch tackle. In Carolina, he had the 2 at the end of the game that were huge that helped win that game for you. I think if I could, I'd bring him back. I know he's going to be tough. That would be
It's
my
gonna be real tough
one.
because some team could pay him.
Yeah.
That's my thing with Bradham. I mean, the Eagles are really up against it for the first time in a long time. Yeah, they're going to restructure Peters. Okay, maybe they'll cut some of Vinny Curry's money, but now guys are going to be wanting money. They won the Super Bowl. They know they're superstars. So like Brandon Graham, is he going to be happy with making a little over $7 this year? I don't think so. I think they're going to have to redo his deal. I mean, I guess they could play hardball, but they haven't showed that they do play hardball anymore. This isn't the Andy Reid era. They're not going to stiff guys, so they got to find the money somewhere. I'm sure Howie Roseman will.
He's a magician.
He's a wizard with the cap. For me, I agree with you. I would keep Bradham if I could because they don't have many linebackers. I would definitely keep Bradham if I could. I just think he's going to get paid.
I think
he's going to cash in. Like a lot of these guys, like Trey Burton's going to cash in.
Trey Burton's
He's gone. They're going to have to look at draft the tight end probably. Start grooming somebody behind Zach Ertz, which is not. I'm cool with that. I think they have. They've shown that they can draft now. They can make these right decisions. A guy like Darren Sproles isn't going to be back. LeGarrette Blount, I love LeGarrette Blount, playoff monster. I don't think he'll be back. Patrick Robinson's going to get paid. Sorry, we have Sidney Jones, we got Jalen Mills, Rasul Douglas, and Darby.
You got depth. I don't know how much quality is there. I think in the Super Bowl you saw a little bit of that. I would love to bring in another cornerback if possible. So I would be all for actually letting Patrick Robinson walk because of how much money he's going to require.
Yeah, he's going to require too much.
Yeah, and I think you got to I would actually draft a cornerback, and I would actually probably look at wide receiver if I got an extra pick.
I think, because Torrey Smith's going to be the first guy cut.
Yeah.
That saves you $5 million right off the bat. You get rid of Torrey Smith, you get rid of Foles, you restructure Peters, you restructure Vinny Curry, then you're kind of, you have some wiggle room. And it's going to be an interesting offseason. And I know, everybody's emotionally attached to all these players, as am I. I mean, me and Joe, this is our first Super Bowl, too. We want these guys to stay for the rest of their lives. Like LeGarrette Blount, I heard him talk on NFL Network, and I'm like, man, I really want LeGarrette Blount back. But we have Jay Ajayi and Corey Clement. Clements could be a superstar.
And I think he is. I think he's going to show you a season that we would see from Westbrook when Westbrook kind of got in that 3rd and 4th year of his career, where he has almost more receiving yards than rushing yards, but it's pretty close. Where he's going to give you about 1,400 total yards, but he's going to give you a lot more receiving as well. I think Corey Clement's going to be.
Dude, he'll be your poor man's Westbrook, man.
I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be just as good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, 100 yards is a freaking Super Bowl, for God's sake. And they can find guys, which is good because we never thought they could find guys before. We didn't think they had this ability, but now Howie Roseman's a god. Doug Peterson making the right decisions, and he made the right decision again with the coaches. He moved Rowe up to offensive coordinator and then put Deuce at assistant head coach. I think it's a great move for everybody. Harmony. You like coming to work. You work better. They proved it. It worked. Let's get it done again. All right, now question obviously of the day: when are the Eagles going to win the Super Bowl again next?
I think that they're going to be in the mix next year, and I think they're going to be in the mix the year after that, and I think they're going to be in the mix the year after that. I think they win before 2020. I think they put one more banner up.
I totally agree with you. And I think it could be as early as next year. The Carson Wentz Revenge Tour, ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets. That leaves me. I have every team winning a championship before 20. And I know I'm a homer, and I know you're probably like, what are you talking about? All these teams can't win a championship. Here's my theory: the Sixers get LeBron, they're winning the title. The Phillies get one of these big free agents, they're winning the title. The Flyers make a couple moves, they're winning the title. The Eagles are winning the title next year. I'm sorry, but we're going to be parading down freaking Broad Street a lot, people. So get used to it.
The new norm.
The new norm.
The new norm.
And the new norm is mouthpiecesportstalk.com. We're bringing you the best coverage around. Get it out there. Tell your friends about it. The best Eagles coverage around. The best Sixers coverage around. We're going to start getting Flyers. I need a Flyers guy. So attention, everybody. I need a Flyers guy. I'll even take some Phillies guys too. I'm going to be taking care of a little bit of the Phillies coverage. But if you got a Phillies guy, send them our way. mouthpiecesportstalk.com. We're trying to bring real sports talk back. Join the revolution. Our football coverage was second to none. We get all the stuff out there first with the new, fresh opinions. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been telling you every week, it's time to join the revolution. mouthpiecesportstalk.com, the new norm for legitimate sports talk in Philadelphia. Joe, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
When will you have something out next?
Thursday, before the Sixers get back at it. The official playoff run starts right now, guys. Everybody, here they come.
That's right. And you can also check his podcast out. I'll retweet out the link today. Ladies and gentlemen, join the revolution. MouthpieceSportsTalk.com. Glockcast, I will talk to you next week.